A father's job is to care for his children and to give his love and support. This is natural to all forms of life, in some capacity. Near the end of a parent's life, it is the duty of the child to try and do the same for our life-giver. All of us hold some sort of link to Alizair and Tempest, and a great number of us with vast powers have answered our father's call. He now sits in the bay, battling an internal battle while we send forth our energy to try and purify the true primordial avatar. The blessed champion Rogel holds firm his sacred rune weapon and commands radiant beams of light into the tidal waves, helping to subdue elemental portals from beneath them. Yet, the forces are starting to emerge despite the divine fusion of his spirit guardian, Bless, and Crusader's mantle. But they don't appear hostile, at least, not at first. Something seems to be altering them as they join the Leviathan's presence. But how can that be? The storm is so loud that no vocals can be heard, and we are all linked to each other's minds by our bonds to water and lightning for communication, yet there is no incantation that we can hear. I sense foul play, but the heroes seem to have entered the mind palace of Jormungandr, and us in the harbor noticed its spirit be focused upon and fade in green energy. It is now of a rich purple. Perhaps they will fare well against Bahamut.
If you Crusaders thought I wouldn't notice the largest storm this realm has ever seen in any of its cycles, you must think my excellent age is only now catching up to me. I admit, I've seen fire and I've seen rain countless times over, and depending on what happens, you will only need to see it this last time. The arrangement with Malpaz is one that will hopefully blossom like an infernal lotus amongst the lava pools in my realm. I am giving him a test of faith, bestowing him with a Hellfire Kriss, with the unique property of fatally killing one target. Save me, of course, and I do mean nearly anyone or anything. Speaking of which, looks like my associate has an idea in mind. Ingenuity. Brilliant mortals over time have developed such strives in healing and well-being, and others develop weapons of mass destruction and draw upon greed and anger and necessity to manufacture such terrible things. These are but a few reasons the Star Surfer Vega has tried to limit how magic can be used on the material plane. While we don't have nuclear bombs in our time, we do have my most destructive element, Hellfire. The flames that damage not only the body, but the soul, burning away the thoughts, memories, and all that keeps a creature alive and tries to hang on to its previous existence until the soul is brought under my rule. A new soldier in my Hell March. Independently, Malpaz is finding a way to create something almost as destructive, as with that infernal ritual knife as the center component. If perhaps about 10 bottles of Hellfire are used in this bomb, perhaps it would be strong enough with other essences to destroy everything in that royal harbor. Are we ready to join the winning team? I await in anticipation.
Today is yet another exciting day in this Golden Lion Tamarin's existence.
So, within the Mind Palace of Ruin, we embarked through a runic portal to Midgard. We landed on a fisherman's boat. Watching what we later learn is a snake dropped into the ocean from on high.
The serpent started to grow rapidly under the waters, and then lunged outwards towards Asgard itself, where in one surprising bite, the vision or memory of the god of thunder was defeated, sending Jormungandr plunging into the ocean, and Jormungandr's acidic venom polluting the world.
The Rakas swiftly plunged himself down into the ocean to try and lift the mighty hammer. But the venom was too much to linger in while trying to wield this rune weapon. Instead, he summons forth the Stormbringer blade and darts like a bolt of lightning up the serpent's body.
Meanwhile, Nyx dived into the deadly waters as a reef shot, but her form perished and needed to take the shape of a giant octopus.
In a great feat of strength, she managed to wield this mighty weapon, throwing it high into the sky to swiftly get out of the pain.
The Prince Palladius had been distracting Jormungandr with the Sword of Justice piercing its reptilian skin, allowing Durakas and Nyx to reach the child of Leonie's head in a swift manner. The Blood Moon child reverted back to her tiefling form and expressing her plan to my buddy without words.
Nyx swung the hammer down with the power borrowed from it, passing its handle to Durakas as it plummeted down, but not without plunging the blade into Jormungandr's eye and slicing from its head all the way down to its torso in the ocean, and jumping back onto the boat with NYX and bow.
Afterwards, we were transported back to the Mind Palace as the Nost realm faded away, assimilating into a lizard and gaining Jormungandra's powers fully, and the only thing left was a golden medal of Mjolnir with the world serpent's fangs wrapped around it. My big buddy,
the Night Queen, and the Avatar of Justice trust me to decide the next portal we shall enter.
All I know is, not Leviathan. Not yet, anyways.
I thought Bahamut sounds pleasant enough, and it's a giant fish.
What could go wrong?
We went into the Arabic portal. I sure wasn't expecting to enter and start falling through space. Gravity not paying any mind to its rules, and the things we saw support them. So, we fell past a planet, right? Didn't look like a limit to me. But the further we went, the sooner we saw what held the planet up in its hands.
An angel at some sort of divine being's wings spread wide to hold the world in its hands. But as we plummeted, we managed to pull a single humongous feather from it and used it to slow our descent. Passing its feet, we saw it stand atop a carpet of gemstone. We dropped below it to see an even bigger ox. The ox had one of its horns severely damaged, and Nyx, being the kind soul she is, she managed to restore a bit of its structure, and the party landed on top of its head.
The Rakas tried to speak to it telepathically, but only heard moo. Nyx tried to speak to the animal, but its ear was across the distance of a continent, so it made it difficult.
Not seeing any other option, we jumped on our feather and started to drift.
But then, an idea has come. To kill a beast even bigger than the ox, we should use an object of a massive size. So, pulling out her trusty first-time used grappling hook, she fused this with Alima's essence and fired it into the ox's horn with her starshine. And that's where we are now, dangling on this grappling hook as we sway on a feather downwards.
This is a bad time to say I'm afraid of heights.